Hey folks, welcome back to Slash Build. We are heading into the nether, but we're not going to do any work on the track per se. What we're going to be doing is playing with some fun 1.5 redstone update goodness. And what I'm going to be attempting to implement here, you see I have this piece of rail that switches and goes off in this direction. Let me pull out a cart and show you how that works. If a cart goes here, so rail switches and it goes in this direction. And that's just a bunch of redstone. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Redstone signal comes down there, and then goes around and into a block that has a redstone torch under here. There we go. Which is normally, let's see if we can get down safely. Okay, nothing there. So that torch is unpowered because there's another torch that's powering this block. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. So the redstone signal comes down from that pressure plate. Oof, man. There we go. Pick is too fast. I keep saying I'm going to get a slower pick and I keep forgetting. Anyway, the pressure plate is here. When the cart is on it, this redstone line gets powered, goes into this block, depowers that redstone torch, which allows this one to become powered, which causes that track to switch. And I had to do it that kind of convoluted way because naturally the track goes... naturally the track goes the way that it is, but if I put it differently, I can't manage to get this piece of track powered properly, is what it boiled down to. I forget exactly the reasons. All I know is that this way works, and that's good enough for my redstone needs. So let me fill this bag, although actually we're going to need to dig some of this out anyway, because what we're going to do today is something that BWO has implemented in his arena. And what we want to do ultimately is we want a track to go into here and then have a cactus right in this block. So when the cart comes through, let me put this back in before I forget. When the cart comes through, triggers this, comes around this way, hits the cactus, we get ejected from the cart because the cart breaks, and then we'll have hopper here and have a line of hoppers that goes over here to a dropper and dispenser combination, which will cause a new cart to pop up over here. So that might be a little hard to follow just talking about it, so we're going to go ahead and get started actually building it. Got a bunch of materials here. So the cactus has to go on a piece of sand, and the sand will go here. Then the cactus, in order to put the cactus in place, we have to dig out a bunch of this netherrack around it, because you can't place cactus... Oops. There we go. You can't place cactus with blocks next to it. So let me... I want to try and do this in such a way that if you happen to see past the cactus, you're seeing junglewood planks. So that's why I'm digging out a lot more than I really need to under most circumstances. But for aesthetic purposes... Alright, so before we put that in, let's put these in. We'll go, if we put one here, oh, I can't put one on the side, just said that. So like this, can't have one there, we'll put one there. Let's put the cactus on real quick. And then if we have this like that, alright, we need to put jungle wood planks down here. Give me that back. Here and here. We fill in these gaps. Nothing 1 block wide, or 1 block in size, can spawn in... Well, I guess little slimes could spawn in there. I don't want the noise. That's the light for this, or the switch for this light, rather. So that's why that's open. Right, let's put this back on here, and then fill this in. Let's see, with the... I think this will be good. Let me fill this in a little bit more. We can go there. Well, let's see. I'm thinking jungle planks here and here. And then there to prevent the cactus from trying to grow. And then that there. Alright. Now this, we're actually going to have a hopper in here. We'll put one here temporarily. Okay, we can't see around that, so that is fine. We'll do it exactly like that. Now, I had to take that out because we actually have to start from this end. So I'm going to take this out, go down 2. Take that out to get back up. Let's see, dropper first, facing upwards, because they can do that now in 1.5. Well, the droppers didn't exist before 1.5, so... And then put the dispenser on top of that. Now, we need to wire this up. So let's clear a little bit of space back here. The idea that we're going for here is that when you press the button to launch the cart, it then also... Well, right now, if I push this button... Oh, you don't hear it. Hold on. I think there has to be a powered rail on top. You hear that extra click? That's the dispenser getting powered. So we need the dispenser empty most of the time. Let's put a minecart in there. Now, if we do this, it does not power the dropper. What we need to do is we need to send another signal once this has turned off to cause the dropper to put the minecart in here and then dispense it. And the way that we do that is like so. We're going to... Oops. Put that back in there. We're going to run redstone along this way. Let's do it like this. I think is the way that works. So I have a bunch of repeaters. We're going to put them in here on full. Like that. Get our redstone. We go boom, boom, boom. So this button will now power this redstone line, which will come to these repeaters, which will delay the signal long enough so that by the time it gets back to here, this track is off. And it will only power this and this by the signal coming into there. So when we push this, we should see the track come on, turn off, and then the cart pop onto the track. Let's see if I got it right. I did not. Oh. This line is in the wrong spot. I need to move it up 1 to there, because the button is on this block. That's why it didn't work. Try again. Let's see if we can get a view where we can see those repeaters. Beautiful. That is exactly what we need. Alright, so that's the cart launching mechanism. Just fine. Now what we need to do is we need to have a way to get the carts back over from where they break to where they dispense. Now, I believe I had said already... Oops. Fell in a hole. I believe I had said already that I saw this in a BOO video. I think he, in turn, got the general concept from... I want to say Doc M77? Although I could be wrong. I'm not sure. Let's take a couple of these up just so that we can work. Easy to replace. Okay. Whoops! Dang it! Let's see, we needed that there. Sand here. Cactus there. And then we need to start from over here. Now this is tricky. Because this block is being powered by this, we're actually going to have to route around it. So let me take this out. Because if a hopper is powered, it won't let items through it. So let me do that. Alright, so we need to start from the inventory that we're moving to. And you hold right click, and you click on it, and you can see, just like the chest in the last episode, that's going into there. Then we come this way. We have to go, we can't go here because of the block. We can go there. Go around like that. And then, this is tricky. I hope I got that. And then there. And let's test it. We put items in here. They go. Not there, not there, not there. They made it all the way across. Gotta go around back to check. And there they are. So now we have a line of hoppers. I think it's 11, because I had 12 and I got one left over. Hi! Zisto is coming to check out my redstone work. So, line of hoppers, that's going to go there. We need to put that back in. Where were the other ones? There's one here. Let's see. Trying to get this looking back the way it was. Let's close this up. I also would like to fill in all the gaps as I can. Why do I have an extra nether brick slab? Where did that come from? There, there. Huh. Oh well, bonus slab. Maybe I'll find where it's supposed to go afterwards. Alright, and we can fill in everything here. If we can't put a block here, because that cuts off that redstone signal. So, oh, not fast enough on the trigger. But we can go here, like that. We can fill all of that in, and we don't need any of this to be open. So redstone's not interacting with that in any way. We can actually, can I fit back in? Oh, okay. We can go like that. Oops. Come on. There we go. There we go. That's all closed in. And then we have 2 tracks here like that. It's actually kind of bugging me that I don't know where that extra nether brick slab... Oh, it was here. Okay, never mind. Figured it out. Alright, now, I have some extra carts in here. Let's send a bunch of them in. Like so. Excellent. Now, first press just to prime the system. Alright. Second press, we go. And new cart is already there waiting. Very cool. Now this goes to the end. So generally, I'm not actually going to be coming back this way. Because when I go to the portal, I'll end up popping back out at my spawn point. At my bed. But just in case, have this set up. And we'll see how this works. Staying off the track like a good little zombie pig man. Thank you very much. Alright, track switched. Sent me over this way. Thing broke. Back in the system. Alright, now the only other thing that I can think of that I would want to do here is have an easier way. I guess I could just throw carts. Like if I come back with a cart. I just want to reload the system. I think I can just throw it like that and have it end up. I have to be careful not to hit the cactus because the cactus will destroy it. But if I just toss it in there like that, that'll reload the system. Excellent. Do I have any more carts over here that can be loaded into the system? I don't. I'll have to go get some from the old nether hub. Alright, let's put away some of these miscellaneous supplies. I'm going to hang on to the redstone. You'll see why in a second. I have done some more work on this tunnel that goes to the farm. You can see I already have started thinking about setting up the launcher track mechanism. I haven't done anything with that yet, but I have the track layout in place. And I've got these filling in some of the gaps. Actually, you know what? Let us take a quick break, and then I will give you a tour of the track system over here. So, be right back. Alright, everybody, and we're back. The time was really flying in that first segment. I completely lost track of where we were in the episode. Gonna pick up a few of these things here. I'll pick this up too. Oh, take that too. This is all stuff I no longer need down here now that I have a proper track to the farm. I got all of the track cleaned up. I don't know how much I'm going to do in terms of trying to reclaim these resources. I might come through for the nether brick, but it's not hard to get now that you can smelt netherrack. And the glass isn't particularly useful. So now that I have all the track, I might just leave this here as an, sort of a relic. Abandoned, old nether hub system. Not that I'm probably going to be spending a whole lot of time in the nether around there. But I'll tell you another reason why it's probably good for me to leave it behind is sometimes I will find myself lost in the nether. And if I, why am I coming up here? I need to go back in here. If I find a track, then that's a lot easier way of finding my way through the nether to a familiar location. Excuse me. Alright, let's try and get these in here safely. Oh, dang it, I just hosed up the whole system. I meant to do this. Press Q while hovering over it. There, all those minecarts are in there now. At some point, a ender pearl is going to pop up, but that's not really a problem. Excuse me. Got a frog in my throat, as my mom would say. Let's drop this stuff off in here. Alright, so now, this track. Oh. Let's get these levers. I'm going to need them. This is what I decided to go with so far for the gaps. Anywhere that I needed a booster rail, I did a block of redstone. Block of redstone you can just do in a crafting table like you do a block of lapis. Zoom. Oops. Like that. And then you can reverse the process like so. And they act as a redstone torch that is an entire block. Here I'm using it mostly decoratively with a little bit of function. The main function of it is to provide a power source that you can push with a piston, because you can't push the, what do you call it? The redstone torches around, because they'll just pop off. And obviously I have the lamps in here. I had run out of levers, so I was just placing them to remind myself where to put them. Let's get these back in here nicely lit. I'm trying to figure out down here at the corner, I have a torch placed because I have a desire to do something cool there, but I'm not sure exactly what I would like to do. So that's a little reminder. You'll see when we get to it. So by the time this actually comes out, I will have already returned. But I am recording this the evening before heading off to PAX East. And then this should go live the Wednesday after PAX East. Where am I going? Very much looking forward to it. My wife is super excited. It's her first PAX that she has gone to. It'll be my second. And as the time draws ever nearer, the anticipation grows ever stronger. That is not where I wanted that. Same sentence. But yeah, really looking forward to it. We're hoping to run into, at the very least, Generic B. He would be our #1 desired YouTuber to get to talk to in person. We figure we'll probably get a chance to at least see Good, since he is sitting on a panel. I don't know what kind of chance we're going to have to actually talk to him. But yeah, here's that torch that I was talking about. I want to do something kind of cool here. Coming around the corner, I just filled this in with the creeper face, and this in with the creeper face. But since this doesn't go all the way up because of the corner, I thought something cool here. It can't be a lamp like these because of there's no place to power it from. You'd be able to hide it. Maybe one lapis block, but I don't want it to really be a full block either because of this. So I don't know. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do here. So if you have any suggestions, please put them in the comments. Your suggestions have been very helpful in the past for figuring out what to do. Even if I don't necessarily take the exact suggestion, they are often inspiring. Oh, well, I don't want to do that, but hey, maybe I could do this that's similar kind of thought process. Did I not turn that on? I did not. There we go. I thought I needed to put more of the redstone blocks in, but apparently I've gotten all of those. I don't do a whole lot with the redstone. That train station thing is one of the more complicated things I've set up recently. And that wasn't particularly complicated, and it wasn't difficult to do because I'd seen it done elsewhere. And also let me know, I was trying to go at a pace that was understandable. That if you wanted to implement something similar into your world, that you'd be able to do so. But it's hard to tell when you're doing it and you already know what you're doing. It's hard to... Oops. I need a piece of track there. I don't have any with me. But it's hard to know what a good pace is when you already know what it is you're doing. Because you can't judge, okay, well, you know, that was too fast, I didn't understand it. Well, I already understand it. I already get the concept. So, yeah, please let me know if I can go over it again if desired. Maybe devote a separate tutorial video, or even better, you might want to search out, I'm pretty sure it was DocM77 on YouTube. He is a Minecracker from Germany, who is quite good with the redstone as well. And I kind of want to say that he had posted that during one of the snapshots, that he'd come up with that, or he and others had come up with it. So there we are. I've got a similar setup over here. Haven't figured out exactly how I'm doing it because of the corner. But this will actually be more useful because I will be coming back and forth from the farm. Oh, let's get these powered as well. Excellent. Thought a little bit of light would help break up the otherwise fairly flat, smooth sandstone. So that's why I did those. I already put a hole there for the lever. Excellent. Very cool. And I went all this way, didn't think to bring a minecart so that I could get back easily. Oh, but here's some rail. I'll take that along. That doesn't need to stay here. So the next thing I need to figure out is what I want to do here. And I'm thinking either more grass blocks and then some leaves, probably spruce leaves, on top of that. Or maybe just sandstone and then the spruce leaves. There's enough lighting from these that I don't feel like putting glowstone or anything like that under there. So, again, that's a place where... I didn't pass it up, did I? No. That's a place where a suggestion from the comments would be greatly appreciated. Because I'm really not sure what I want to do there. Alright, I'm gonna cut real quick just to get to the end of this track, and I will see you at the other end. Alright, we've made it to the end. Let's head on up. Just have one last thing I want to show you. There we go. I'm going to give you a little... Oh, let's sleep now, because in the dark you're not really going to be able to see much of anything. But I wanted to give you a little preview of the next concept that I'm working on for a building in my world. Bonk. Sleepy, sleepy. I've been talking about that dragon egg needing a better home than this fairly bulky display case in the middle of my lobby. And I'm thinking this large flat area over here that I've been slowly kind of flattening out. I've removed a bunch of grass from basically these bald spots here and here. I had whittled down some, and I'm thinking fill in the ponds, expand this out some more, get this area level with the rest of it, and then build some sort of shrine there. And I would love ideas of what kind of building to build. I've considered a couple of different things. Considered trying to make it in the shape of the egg. Which is sort of a pyramid shape with a recessed bottom layer. I thought that could possibly be cool. I have thought about just a pyramid in general. I have thought about doing a big square building with tall stone brick pillars. And one feature that I think I would like to try to implement, which would be completely new redstone workings for me, would be to have in redstone lamps on the floor a clock. So it would have something indicating, 12, 3, 9, 6, whatever. And using a daylight sensor and the signal strength from that, figure out whether it's noon, whether it's, it's morning, noon, dusk, then, in the middle of the night, and then come back around. So maybe not like a literal clock that it would go, noon would be at the top, but then 6 would be more at dusk, maybe more like a, dawn, midday, dusk, nighttime indicator of some sort. But in the shape of a clock and in a way that it moves the lighting at least, if not actual blocks moving around, but that the light lines actually move between the points so that it's, at midday it's here and then a little bit after midday, like maybe right now, it's, getting close to midday. So it'd be, the hand would be like here, and then when it hit midday, it would switch over and that line would point this way. So whatever design I come up with, I'd like to probably start with that. Put the clock in first as the foundation. And then, because that's going to probably drive how big the floor has to be. And then from there, come up with a cool building to build around it. So that's going to be a pretty massive project. It's probably going to take us a while to do. I don't know that we'll necessarily stay on that particular project the whole time either. I could certainly see spending some time on that. Oh, there's a cave. Is this a creeper hole that I just covered over? I could see spending a little bit of time on it and then doing something else for an episode and then coming back to it in another episode. But it's definitely something that I would like to get implemented into this world, because that little display case is not epic enough to house the one item in the game that you cannot get more than one of without cheating, basically. I know there's ways with like the sand duplicator will also duplicate the dragon egg because it's a falling entity. Although I don't know, maybe they got that fixed in 1.5. I've never made use of it, so I don't know whether or not it works or not in this version. Because I'm not a dirty cheat. Although I will use X-ray machine, so I guess that's kind of cheating. By X-ray machine, in case you're not familiar with either glowstone or TNT, a solid block that is considered transparent, you can build a system where you dig yourself in a little hole, and then with the pistons, push those blocks over top of you, so you're inside the block. And whenever you are inside a block, the inside faces don't render, so you're actually seeing through the world. Yeah. So I have used those. It's helpful for finding what caves you haven't lit up if you're trying to light up all the caves in the area for a spawner or something. But enough of that. I'm going to be working on this a decent amount off camera, just trying to get this leveled out, filled in, and hopefully next episode, whoa, got some lag. Hopefully next episode we will be in a place where we can start working on our floor clock doom or coolness. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. I don't know what that was. See you next time.